You know the person who pulled the alarm, a student what we're not naming right now. Tell us about who he is, what he did, and how he's doing.
Yeah, I was able to speak to him through text message while he was still in the ambulance, and he was in good spirits, and despite of everything that happened, he seemed to be doing well.
He was stabbed as well?
Yes, I believe that he was stabbed in the arm, and there's a picture, I believe, that's going around that shows him doing quite well right now, though.
And did he tell you that he pulled the alarm, or had you heard that separately?
I had heard that separately. I had not spoke to him about that. I was, at that time, more worried about how he was doing and how the family was. As you can imagine, they're dealing with a lot now and trying to respect their privacy, and so I'm sure a lot more will come out, but I had not heard that from him.
How is his family doing? You said you text messaged with him. How are his parents doing?
They're very grateful. Obviously, you can imagine when you hear that news, a lot of thoughts go through their mind, but they are extremely grateful for God's protection. And actually, their concerns are for the other students that are doing a lot more serious or not as good right now.
He sounds like a real hero. Authorities are giving him credit for alerting them that something was going on at the school.
Yeah, well, I'm not surprised. He's a good kid that comes from a great family. I've seen him in many different ways, and none of us really know what we would do in those situations, but if there's someone that would do it, I would imagine he would.
You're also counseling students in the aftermath of this horrible incident. Undoubtedly, some are shaken up. Some are not going to want to come back to school. How many students have you spoken to? What are you telling them, and what are they telling you?
Well, I was able to be in the school probably about an hour after the event happened, and just got a chance to see some of the students, to see who interacted with the incident and who had friends, and many of them are fearful right now. They're afraid that life won't be the same, and to some of them it won't be. But just trying to encourage them to lean on their families, to trust the community, and in the midst of all this evilness, that God is still good, even though man makes a choice of evil.
You're leading a prayer vigil tonight. We've heard that there's going to be a couple community events at churches this evening. How are you going to put the feelings of this community right now into words? I don't want to obviously put pressure on you, but this is going to be a very important sermon for you.
Well, the biggest thing right now is really just to be around and be present. Many of these students just need to feel the love and safety of their family and friends, to be able to grieve with their community, but ultimately for them to recognize that we have a perspective that's limited, and there is another perspective that God has. And in that perspective, we see that God is good, even though in these moments that man chooses evil, we can trust in his goodness. And so tonight at Cornerstone Ministries at the warehouse, we will be spending some time just really praying with students and come alongside. We'll have counselors available and pastors available, and just really just being there to try to answer the questions. And in these times, it's okay to say, I don't know. And it's okay just to be there, even when we don't have all the answers.
And Pastor Dan, we're not mentioning the name of the alleged suspect in this, but I was wondering if you knew anything about him, if you had heard anything about him from the other students. We had a young lady on just a few minutes ago who said that he seemed like a nice kid, kind of a loner, but never had heard anything negative about him, didn't seem to be bullied, she'd never heard that he had any troubles at home. What do you know? What have you heard?
Yeah, there's a lot of speculation, a lot of different rumors out there with social media and students talking, but I had heard the same things, that he would be the kid that you wouldn't expect.